Hi there, this is Mrs. Strickland from Marvin Wright Elementary. Today's math lesson is going to be on Lesson 11, solving one-step word problems using multiplication and division. Today we'll be working in your instructional book. These are the colorful pages that you have, like the ones you see on my screen. We'll be working on page 112 and 113 today in our video. Please follow along with me as we complete these pages. At the end of the video, I will give you some assignments to do, a couple more pages in this book, and then also in your practice workbook, which the pages are red and gray for that. So let's get started. So we have learned a lot about ways to show multiplication and division, and we're going to apply those skills to solving one-step word problems. Follow along with me as I read the top of page 112. Use what you know. You have learned about different ways to show multiplication and division. In this lesson, you will learn how to solve multiplication and division word problems. Take a look at this problem. Write a word problem about the picture at the right. So I'm looking at this, and this looks like a picture of rows and columns of baseballs. We have straight rows and straight columns. Now we have learned that this is called an array. A asks us to think of the picture as showing an array. Describe what it shows. So if we are looking at this, we can count the number of rows that we have. We can also count the columns. So we're going to do that together. And we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns. So if we are looking at this picture and we see that we have 5 rows and 8 columns, we could say that we have 5 rows of baseballs with 8 in each row. So we have 5 rows of baseballs with 8 in each row. So that is what the picture in the problem shows us. B asks us to think of the picture as showing equal groups. Now we can make some groups from our picture, which we are going to do now. I'm going to circle each row, and that's going to become a group. You can do this on your page also if you would like. And I am making 5 groups of 8. So I can describe that I have now made 5 groups with 8 baseballs in each group. Now, C. Let's continue with C. Write the fact family that the picture shows. Well, since we have counted the rows and columns, we have the two numbers that we're going to use to make our fact family. And we talked about fact families a few weeks ago, so this should be a review for us. So if I have 5 rows times 8 columns, that will give me 40 baseballs in all. The commutative property of multiplication says that I can switch the two factors and I will still get the same product. As far as division goes, I can use my product as the dividend and the factors will be my divisor and quotient. So this should be a review for you. You can do these in any order. You can do them the same as I am doing them. But those are our 4 facts. 5 times 8 is 40. 8 times 5 is 40. 40 divided by 5 is 8. And 40 divided by 8 is 5. Now, let's move on to D. Why can the picture be used to describe both multiplication and division? Well, the picture shows 40 baseballs. So you can think about this as you are multiplying to find a total, which is you're getting a larger number, or you can think about it as dividing it into groups as we did with our circles. So it can be used for both because we can look at the total of 40 There are 40 baseballs. We can multiply to find the total. Or divide the group into equal parts. Okay. Now, let's move on. Oops. Pick one of the multiplication or division equations that you wrote in the fact family. Use this equation to write a word problem about the picture. So you can pick any of these equations that you saw, but I'm going to pick 40 divided by 8. 40 divided by 8 equals 5. That's the one I'm going to pick. And I am going to write a word problem about it. And here's my word problem. There are 40 baseballs in 8 buckets. How many baseballs are in each bucket if you make equal groups? And that's important because we're wanting to make equal groups. So that's my word problem. 40 divided by 8 equals 5. There are 40 baseballs in 8 buckets. How many baseballs are in each bucket if you make 8 equal groups. All right, let's continue on to page 113. Sometimes you can write a multiplication equation to help you solve a word problem. Other times you can write either a multiplication or a division equation. Look at the examples below. Example 1. There are 6 bananas in each bunch. How many bananas are in 2 bunches? You can solve this problem using 2 times 6 equals unknown, or 6 times 2 equals the unknown. Example 2. 2 bunches have a total of 12 bananas. Each bunch has the same number of bananas. How many bananas are in each bunch? You can solve this problem using 2 times the unknown equals 12, or you can do 12 divided by 2 would give you the unknown number. Example 3. Each bunch has 6 bananas. If there are 12 bananas, how many bunches are there? You can solve this problem using 6 times the unknown equals 12, or 12 divided by 6 equals the unknown. So let's reflect on what we've done today. Write a multiplication and division equation that could help you solve the problem below. Then solve the problem. A hat rack has 2 rows of hooks. Each row has the same number of hooks. The rack has 10 hooks in all. How many hooks are in each row? So we know that we have the number 2 and the number 10 to work with here, 2 and 10. Let's think about how we could write a multiplication and division equation with an unknown number, because, we have to have 3 numbers to make the equation. But we're going to use a question mark for the unknown. I could think to myself, 2 times a number will give me the total of 10. Now, I know that 10 is the total because it says the rack has 10 hooks in all. So I know that has to be my product. That's my total. If I were going to write a division, I would take the total first and divide by 2. And that would give me the unknown. It would give me the number of hooks that are in each row. Now, there are many different strategies that we can use to solve this. We could do repeated addition. We could count by 2s a certain number of times until we get to 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That would give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2s. If you were dividing, you could make 2 groups, and you could count to 10 until you count to 10 and divide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are many different strategies that you may have learned earlier on, but any strategy you want to use, these are just a couple. You could use these strategies to help you solve. So we know we can look at these 2 pictures and see, or these 2 examples, and see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the missing number. Here we have 5 in each group. So we know that our missing number, and I'm going to use an N to stand for my missing number, is 5. So those are the introduction pages for lesson 11. You are going to continue your math lesson today by working on pages 114 and 115 and those look like this. Much of this is reading the example. You're going to read the example about the groups of fish. You are going to follow along with the example. As you go, it will explain to you what you are seeing, and you will work on the examples on page 114 and page 115. You will complete those and answer the questions. And this is exactly what we just worked on. After you finish these 2 pages, so I'm scrolling all the way down to the end of page 115. After you complete pages 114 and 115, it would be really nice if you could go over this with a parent or whoever is at home helping you work on this math lesson. Once you feel comfortable with what you have done, then you will work on your practice workbook pages. This would be page 123 and 124. Now, those pages are red and gray. They are not colorful like these. So you will work on those. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.